Welcome to my channel, where we explore rare and historical coins from around the world. Today, we are going to look at 4 interesting Kennedy half-dollar coins: the 1972 D half-dollar, the 1974 half-dollar, the 1979 half-dollar, and the 1989 D half-dollar. Each of these coins represents a different time in American coin history and has its own story, design details, and collector value. Let's begin with the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar. The 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar is an interesting coin that reflects both the history of the United States and the changing habits of everyday Americans during the early 1970s. This coin was produced at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark found on the obverse side of the coin, just below the truncation of President John F. Kennedy's neck. Like other Kennedy half-dollars, the 1972 D version carries the familiar portrait of John F. Kennedy facing left, a design created by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts shortly after Kennedy's assassination in 1963. The reverse of the coin features a presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparo, showing a heraldic eagle with shield on its chest, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. Above the eagle appears a phrase, United States of America, while the denomination half-dollar is placed below. Surrounding the eagle are 50 small stars representing the states of the Union. The 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar is part of the copper-nickel-clad era that began in 1971 after the United States Mint ended the use of silver in regular-issue half-dollars. Earlier Kennedy half-dollars minted between 1964 and 1970 contained silver, but rising silver prices forced the government to change the metal composition. Therefore, the 1972 D coin is made from a layered structure consisting of an outer coating of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This gave the coin its silvery appearance while keeping production costs lower. The coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a weight of approximately 11.34 grams, and a reeded edge. Because it contains no silver, its intrinsic metal value is relatively low compared to earlier issues, but collectors still value it for its historical context and condition. During the early 1970s, half-dollars were no longer widely used in everyday commerce. By this time, the American public had largely stopped using large denomination coins, preferring paper currency instead. As a result, many Kennedy half-dollars minted during this period were stored in bank vaults or saved by collectors rather than circulated heavily. The 1972 D issue had a relatively high mintage, with more than 141 million coins produced at the Denver Mint. This large production number means that the coin is quite common in circulated condition today, and many examples can still be found in rolls, collections, and old bank holdings. Even though the coin is common, its value can vary significantly depending on its condition. Circulated examples usually show signs of wear, such as flattened details on Kennedy's hair, small scratches, and dull luster. These coins generally trade for a small premium over face value, mostly among collectors who are filling album spaces or assembling complete date and mint mark sets. However, uncirculated examples, especially those with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can be more desirable. Coins graded in mint state condition by professional grading services often attract collectors who focus on high-quality modern coinage. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can carry a noticeable premium, and exceptionally well-preserved examples with strong strikes and attractive toning may be even more valuable. The design of the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar remains an iconic tribute to President John F. Kennedy. The obverse portrait captures a dignified and youthful image of Kennedy, reflecting the nation's admiration for him after his presidency and tragic death. The inscription Liberty appears around the top edge, while the national motto, In God We Trust, is divided across the lower left and right sides. The date 1972 is positioned at the bottom center. The reverse design, with its bold eagle and intricate details, represents the strength and unity of the United States. Collectors often appreciate the balance between the obverse and reverse designs, as well as the symbolic elements incorporated into the coin's imagery. Because the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar was produced in large numbers, It is sometimes overlooked by casual collectors. However, dedicated numismatists understand that even common coins can hold significance. Many collectors enjoy assembling full sets of Kennedy half-dollars, and the 1972 D issue is an essential part of that collection. Additionally, some collectors specialize in finding coins with unusual characteristics, such as strong strikes, proof-like surfaces, or attractive natural toning that develops over time due to environmental factors. Errors and varieties are another area of interest for collectors of the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar. While no major widely recognized varieties exist of the specific date and mint mark, minor mint errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped planchets occasionally appear. These error coins can be worth more than regular examples, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Collectors who enjoy searching through coin rolls often look for these unusual pieces as part of the excitement of coin collecting. The historical context of the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar also adds to its appeal. The early 1970s were a period of economic change and political development in the United States. The country was transitioning away from silver coinage, adapting to new economic realities, and modernizing its currency system. The Kennedy half-dollar itself was originally introduced in 1964 as a memorial to President Kennedy, and by 1972 it had become a lasting symbol of American history and remembrance. In terms of preservation, collectors are encouraged to handle coins carefully and store them in protective holders to maintain their condition. Exposure to moisture, chemicals, or improper cleaning methods can damage the coin's surface and reduce its value. Many experienced collectors recommend leaving coins in their natural state, as cleaning can remove the original mint luster and create unnatural scratches that are easily detected by experts. Today, the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar remains a popular and accessible coin for both beginner and experienced collectors. Because it is relatively affordable, it serves as an excellent starting point for those interested in modern U.S. coinage. At the same time, high-grade examples provide a challenge for advanced collectors who seek coins with exceptional quality. The coin also holds sentimental value for many Americans who remember the Kennedy era and the changes that took place in the country during the late 20th century. Next is the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, another popular coin among collectors who enjoy classic U.S. currency. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is a modern United States coin that reflects a period when large denomination coins were no longer widely used in everyday commerce, but remain important to collectors and the nation's historical memory. This coin continues the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series that began in 1964 after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The obverse of the coin features a familiar left-facing portrait of Kennedy, designed by chief engraver Gilroy Roberts. The portrait shows Kennedy with strong facial features and carefully engraved hair detail, symbolizing leadership and national pride. Around the top edge appears the word Liberty, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," is split on either side of the neck truncation. The date 1979 is positioned at the bottom center of the obverse, and the mint mark, when present, appears just below Kennedy's neck. The reverse design of the 1979 half-dollar was created by Frank Gasparo and displays the presidential seal of the United States. At the center is a powerful heraldic eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, representing the balance between peace and military readiness. A shield is placed on the eagle's chest as a symbol of protection and national strength. Above the eagle's head is a cluster of stars and rays, while 50 small stars surround the main design, representing the 50 states of the Union. The inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar appear along the outer edge of the reverse, and the motto, E Pluribus Unum, is placed above the eagle's head. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, which had been in use since 1971, when the United States Mint stopped producing regular circulation half-dollars with silver content. The coin is made from outer layers consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This structure gives the coin a silver-like appearance while maintaining durability and lowering production costs. The coin measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs approximately 11.34 grams. It features a reeded edge, which not only adds texture, but also helps prevent counterfeiting and clipping. In 1979, Kennedy half dollars were produced at multiple U.S. mint facilities. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint struck coins marked with a D. Proof versions were also produced at the San Francisco Mint, typically bearing an S mint mark and featuring mirror-like surfaces and sharp details intended for collectors. The mintage numbers for 1979 half dollars were relatively high, reflecting the mint's continued production of the series despite limited demand in everyday circulation. Tens of millions of coins were produced, making most examples common today, especially in circulated condition. By the late 1970s, the half dollar was rarely seen in daily transactions. Most Americans preferred using smaller coins or paper currency, and many half dollars went directly into storage rather than circulation. Banks often kept large quantities in vaults, and collectors frequently saved new coins as keepsakes or investments. As a result, many 1979 half dollars can still be found in relatively good condition compared to older circulating coins. This makes the coin accessible and affordable for beginner collectors who want to start building a Kennedy half dollar set. The value of a 1979 Kennedy half dollar depends largely on its condition and whether it is a regular circulation strike or proof coin. Circulated examples typically show wear on high points such as Kennedy's hair and the eagle's wings and usually sell close to face value. Uncirculated coins with bright luster and minimal marks can command higher prices, especially when graded in higher mint state levels by professional grading services. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are more desirable to collectors, and exceptionally well-preserved examples can be worth significantly more than average pieces. Proof coins, with their deep mirrored fields and frosted design elements, are often sought after for their aesthetic appeal, and are typically sold in original mint packaging or certified holders. Although the 1979 Kennedy half dollar does not have major widely known varieties, collectors remain interested in minor mint errors and unusual features. These may include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or coins struck on incorrect planchets. While such errors are relatively rare, they add an element of excitement for collectors who enjoy searching through rolls of coins or inherited collections. Coins with attractive toning or strong, well-centered strikes are also prized by enthusiasts who appreciate the artistic beauty of the series. The historical context of the 1979 Kennedy half dollar is tied to a period of economic change and evolving coin usage in the United States. Inflation and shifts in consumer habits had reduced the role of large coins in everyday life, and a half dollar was gradually becoming more of a commemorative and collectible item rather than a practical medium of exchange. However, the coin continued to serve as a lasting tribute to President Kennedy, whose legacy remained deeply influential in American culture and politics. Collectors often include the 1979 half dollar in complete Kennedy half dollar sets, which may span from the original 1964 silver issue to modern releases. Building a full set allows collectors to observe the evolution of U.S. coinage, including changes in metal composition, minting technology, and design details. Some collectors focus on assembling high-grade examples from each year, while others pursue coins with unique toning or special characteristics that make them stand out. Proper storage and handling are essential for maintaining the condition of a 1979 Kennedy half dollar. Experts recommend holding coins by the edges and storing them in protective holders or albums to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Cleaning coins is generally discouraged because it can remove natural surfaces and reduce collector value. Instead, preserving the original appearance of the coin is considered the best practice for maintaining both aesthetic and monetary worth. Moving on to the 1979 Kennedy half dollar. The 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar is a modern United States coin that represents a period when half dollars were no longer widely used in everyday circulation, but continue to be produced primarily for collectors and mint sets. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and it carries a small D mint mark located on the obverse side, just below the truncation of President John F. Kennedy's neck. Like all Kennedy half dollars issued after 1964, the coin serves as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, whose leadership and legacy left a lasting impact on American history. The obverse design was created by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts and features a detailed portrait of Kennedy facing left, with strong lines and a dignified appearance that captures the respect and admiration the American public held for him. The word liberty appears around the top rim of the coin, while the motto "In God We Trust" is divided on either side of Kennedy's neck. The date 1989 is positioned at the bottom center of the obverse, completing the classic layout that has defined the series for decades. The reverse design of the 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar was created by Frank Gasparo and features the presidential seal of the United States. The central image is a powerful heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, symbolizing strength, independence, and national unity. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, representing the nation's desire for peace, but readiness to defend itself when necessary. A shield covers the eagle's chest, symbolizing protection and resilience, while a cluster of stars and rays appears above its head. Surrounding the main design are 50 stars representing the 50 states of the Union. The inscription, United States of America, curves along the upper edge, and the denomination half dollar is displayed along the lower rim. The motto, E Pluribus Unum, appears above the eagle's head, reinforcing the concept of unity among diverse states. The 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar is composed of a copper-nickel-clad structure, a composition that has been used for regular circulation half dollars since 1971. The coin consists of outer layers made from 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This layered composition gives the coin a silver-like appearance while ensuring durability and cost efficiency for the United States Mint. The coin measures approximately 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs around 11.34 grams. It features a reeded edge, which historically helped prevent the shaving or clipping of precious metal coins, and continues to provide a distinct tactile feel. By 1989, the role of the half dollar in everyday commerce had significantly declined. Most Americans preferred using smaller coins or paper currency, and the half dollar was rarely seen in regular transactions. As a result, the majority of 1989 D. Kennedy half dollars were not released widely into circulation, but were instead included in annual mint sets produced specifically for collectors. This limited circulation contributes to the relatively high quality found in many surviving examples, as they were often preserved in original packaging rather than exposed to heavy wear. The mintage of the 1989 D. half dollar was significantly lower than earlier decades because production was focused on collector demand rather than general circulation needs. The value of a 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar depends primarily on its condition and whether it remains in original mint packaging. Circulated examples are relatively uncommon because the coin was not widely used, but when found they typically carry only a modest premium over face value. Uncirculated coins, especially those graded in higher mint state levels, are more desirable to collectors who seek high-quality modern coinage. Coins graded MS-65 or higher often attract attention for their strong luster, sharp strike, and minimal contact marks. Exceptional specimens with superior eye appeal or attractive natural toning may command higher prices in the collector market. Although the 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar does not have widely recognized major varieties, collectors still search for minor mint errors and unique features. Examples of such errors may include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or coins struck with die cracks or other unusual characteristics. While these errors are not common, they add an element of excitement for numismatists who enjoy examining coins closely for rare and interesting variations. Additionally, coins with proof-like surfaces or particularly strong strikes are sometimes sought after by collectors who appreciate superior craftsmanship. The historical context surrounding the 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar reflects a time when the United States Mint was adapting to changing consumer habits and economic conditions. The late 1980s saw increasing use of electronic payments and continued reliance on paper currency for larger denominations, further reducing the need for half dollars in daily transactions. However, the Kennedy half dollar remained an important symbol of American heritage and a reminder of President Kennedy's enduring legacy. Collectors valued the coin not only for its design, but also for its connection to a pivotal era in American history. For collectors building complete sets of Kennedy half dollars, the 1989 D issue hold a unique place as part of the modern era, when coins were produced primarily for collectors rather than circulation. Many enthusiasts aim to assemble full date and mint mark collections spanning from the original 1964 silver issue through contemporary releases. The 1989 D coin is an essential component of such sets, representing the continuation of the series into the late 20th century. Because many examples remain in excellent condition, collectors often seek coins with flawless surfaces and strong eye appeal to enhance the overall quality of their collections. Proper care and storage are important for maintaining the condition of a 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar. Collectors are encouraged to handle coins by their edges and store them in protective holders or albums that shield them from environmental damage, such as moisture, dust, and air pollutants. Cleaning coins is generally discouraged because it can remove natural surfaces and diminish collector value. Instead, preserving the coin's original luster and appearance is considered the best approach to long-term conservation. Finally, we have the 1989 D. Kennedy half dollar, minted in Denver during the modern era of U.S. coin production. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar is a United States coin that reflects a time when half dollars were gradually disappearing from everyday circulation but remain an important part of American numismatic history and a continuing tribute to President John F. Kennedy. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964 shortly after Kennedy's assassination, and by 1974 the coin had become a familiar symbol of national memory rather than a commonly used piece of currency. The obverse of the 1974 half dollar features the left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts. The design shows Kennedy with a calm and dignified expression, detailed hairlines, and strong facial features that capture his leadership image. Around the upper edge of the coin appears the inscription Liberty, while the motto In God We Trust is placed across the lower left and right sides. The date, 1974, appears at the bottom center, and depending on the mint facility, a small mint mark may appear just below Kennedy's neck. The reverse of the 1974 Kennedy half dollar displays the presidential seal of the United States, a design created by Frank Gasparo. The central element is a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, representing strength and independence. A shield covers the eagle's chest, symbolizing defense and unity, while the eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, representing peace and military readiness. Above the eagle's head is a cluster of stars and rays, and around the outer field are 50 small stars representing the states of the Union. The inscription United States of America curves along the upper rim, and the denomination half dollar appears along the lower edge. The motto E Pluribus Unum is positioned above the eagle's head, reinforcing the concept of unity among diverse states. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar was produced using a copper-nickel clad composition, a change that began in 1971, when the United States Mint discontinued the use of silver in regular issue half dollars due to rising metal costs. The coin consists of outer layers made from 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This layer construction gives the coin a silver-like appearance while maintaining durability and reducing production expenses. The coin measures approximately 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs about 11.34 grams. It has a reeded edge, which historically served to prevent precious metal coins from being clipped and continues to give modern coins a distinct texture. In 1974, Kennedy half dollars were struck at multiple mint facilities. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint produced coins marked with a D. Proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint, typically bearing an S mint mark and featuring highly polished, mirror-like surfaces designed for collectors. The combined mintage for circulation strikes reached into the hundreds of millions, making the 1974 half dollar relatively common today, especially in circulated condition. Because the coin was produced in large numbers, it is often accessible and affordable for collectors who are building a complete Kennedy half-dollar set. Although millions were produced, the half-dollar was not widely used in everyday transactions during the mid-1970s. Many Americans preferred smaller coins or paper currency, and banks often stored large quantities of half-dollars rather than distributing them widely. As a result, many 1974 half-dollars survived in relatively good condition compared to older circulating coins. Some were saved by collectors immediately after release, and others remained in mint sets or rolls for decades, contributing to the availability of uncirculated examples today. The value of a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar depends largely on its condition and whether it is a regular circulation strike or proof coin. Circulated examples generally trade for only a small premium over face value, as they are quite common. Uncirculated coins with bright luster, strong strike quality, and minimal contact marks can command higher prices, particularly when graded in high mint state levels by professional grading services. Coins graded MS65 or higher are more desirable among collectors, and those with exceptional eye appeal or attractive natural toning may achieve even higher values. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are often sought after for their deep mirrored surfaces and frosted design elements, making them popular among collectors who appreciate visual beauty. Collectors of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar also look for mint errors and unusual varieties. Although there are no major widely known varieties to this date, minor errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or die cracks occasionally appear and can increase the value of a coin. Some collectors enjoy searching through rolls or inherited collections to find coins with unique characteristics, which adds an element of excitement and discovery to the hobby. Coins with particularly strong strikes or exceptional luster are also prized by enthusiasts who focus on high-quality modern coinage. The historical context of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar reflects a period of economic change in the United States. Inflation and evolving consumer habits were reducing the role of large coins in everyday commerce, and a half-dollar was gradually transitioning from a commonly used denomination to a collectible item. Despite this shift, the Kennedy half-dollar remained a powerful symbol of American history and a tribute to a president who had left a lasting impact on the nation. The continued production of the series demonstrated the public's ongoing respect for Kennedy and the enduring popularity of his memorial coin. For collectors assembling a complete Kennedy half-dollar collection, the 1974 issue is an essential part of the clad era that began in 1971. Building a full set allows collectors to trace the evolution of U.S. coinage from silver to clad compositions and observe subtle changes in minting technology and design quality over time. Some collectors focus on assembling high-grade examples from each year, while others pursue coins with attractive toning or unique mint errors that make their collection stand out. Proper storage and handling are important for preserving the condition of a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. Experts recommend holding coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints and storing them in protective holders or albums to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Cleaning coins is generally discouraged because it can remove original surfaces and reduce collector value. Maintaining the coin's natural luster and appearance is considered the best way to preserve its long-term desirability. These 4 Kennedy half-dollars show how U.S. coins changed over time while keeping the iconic Kennedy design alive for decades. Whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist, studying different dates and mint marks helps you understand rarity, history, and value. Thank you for watching my channel. If you enjoy coin history, rare coin values, and detailed coin information, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin content. See you in the next video.